but I didn't do the countdown for our recording.
We counted down. Well, we're live right there. Let's go ahead and hit it on the total recorder whenever you're ready.
3, 2, 1. Click it.
Click.
Check.
All right.
Hello.
We're live, baby. Yeah, we live. So, what's up on today's episode of the hashtag Blackout podcast? Mm-hmm. All I gotta say is TB of the booty. All that and more, along with your voicemails on today's episode of the hashtag Blackout podcast.
TB in the booty.
Oh, wow. What's up? Welcome back, and welcome back again to episode 207 of the hashtag Blackout podcast.
Yes, sir.
I'm Jared.
And I'm Jay.
And we're back at it again. Wow, Jay. How's the last couple weeks going for you, man?
It's been all right. It's been cool, not bad. Finally am retiring from YouTube. Well, no, I ain't gonna say that. I'll say I'm retired from collecting. Yeah. So retired from collecting okay. Art toys and designer toys. So yeah, I say that because, for the past, I don't know, however many years, I said if I was able to get this one piece, I was calling it quits. Mm-hmm. And not One Piece as the anime One Piece, but this one particular figure, I was calling it quits. And you know that old expression, closed mouth don't get fed. So eBay has these things up there for upwards of over $1,000, and I was like, dang, no, man, it only cost like $150 initially back in 2013. I'm trying to find somebody that has it. So I just said, screw it. I'm just going to ask somebody in the Facebook group. Okay. I put the notice out there. I say, look, I know it's a long shot. But anybody got this particular figure or have any leads besides eBay? Somebody responds like, yeah, I got like 5 of them. I'm saving them for somebody, but yeah. So he's like, you might not like my prices for what I got. And I was like, okay. So I just DM'd him. I was like, check your private messages. So yeah, he gave me the price, and I'm like, okay, bet. If this person doesn't want to buy them by the end of the day, send me a message. I'll take it off your hand. Oh wow! So, okay, bam, got it. And so you got the most coveted thing that you've been waiting to get. I got my holy grail of pieces in. Nice. I am officially done. I'll say. I think done collecting. Yeah. You're done. You said you think, so you know what? I think something may show up. Something may show up. I'm still gonna be on the lookout for more versions of this particular piece. Yeah. Okay. And if I find them, and they're a good price, I'll get them. But it's for now. I think I'm done. Yeah. I think I am. Congratulations. Thank you. That's cool. Yeah, man. When you're looking for something for a long time and you finally get it, that's dope if you find it. Trying to think, man, when it comes to me, something similar. The only thing that I think I could probably equate that to for me would be getting a barrel smoker. Right? I was just about to say that. It's got to be. So like a ugly drum smoker, that's what they call them. It's basically like a big barrel. And then also like a 250 to 500 gallon smoker. I would love 1,000-gallon smoker, but that's like one that's huge, like 15-foot trailer or 20-foot trailer. I wanted 500. I want something big enough that I could put about 15 to 20 briskets on. If I get something like that, I'm done looking, bro. I'm done looking at that. You're gonna have a heck of a time trying to convince your wife to get that and put it in the yard. No. I have a parking spot in the garage where I park my truck right now. I'm completely willing to give that space up if I could put that inside the garage. Have you expressed these feelings with your wife? I told her that. Yeah, I told her that. And while she was halfway sleeping? No. I told her that, and she was like, nah, that's not gonna happen. I was like, you know what?
I was like, if I save the money for it, then I'll make it work. And she was still like, no, but it was one of those scenarios where, like, since I said if I save the money for it and I have the money for it, then we'll make it happen. So that would probably be the case. But I would get that thing, man. I would treat that like a brand new car. I would like polish that sucker up, always nice and clean. I'd have like a mat down under it where like nothing could like no ash or anything could get down in it. And yeah, man, I would definitely take care of it. The other alternative is this. There's a couple of places like right around the corner from where I live that people park their trailers, and like, there are food trucks that park there, and then also people's RVs and boats, they put them there. So if I had to do a last chance alternative or an alternate place to park it, it would be something like that, or I would just rent like a storage unit and just park it in there. I don't know. I'd find a way.
Man,
I'd find a way. And then I'd try to sell enough food to like make it worthwhile.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Those would be my holy grails though, man. There's something called a primitive pit. Like it just looks like one of those old like propane gas tanks way out in the country. Mm-hmm. And they just like, just like old and dusty looking, but you crack open the lid inside, all this delicious smoky deliciousness in there. So I don't know, but that's side the point. I'm drooling over here, man. I'm glad you got your grail thing. So you gonna show us what you got or not yet?
Well,
we'll do a video.
As you could see, I'm in my son's room, and really, I'm not even nowhere near it. But yeah, it's I don't even know if I should look for a picture and just stream it up here.
You can do that if you find it, whatever.
But yeah, it's I've been looking for this piece. I could have bought it in 2013, but having a newborn at that time, my collecting would have had to take it took a back seat.
Yeah.
And it's that's what happened. And of course, if you don't jump on some of these things at the time, then hey, you just SOL. So yeah,
9 years later, you got it though.
9 years later of
That's
looking,
wild, cool.
I happen to find it. Let's see, where's my share screen button? Let's see, video. No, share screen. Here we go. Yeah. Okay. Don't the tips. Nobody wants to see the tips. Can you see my screen?
Just the tip. Yeah. Oh wait, here. Let me put it in the stream. Bam.
There you go. So
okay, let's see.
This particular piece here, I've been looking for forever. Well, I ain't gonna say forever, but I've been looking
Snow White.
It's Snow White holding a grenade with a bandana in her hands. So, it may not cool. to a lot of people. It may not look all that.
Ooh, the black window.
That great. Because it's just a figure, but when you take into account like these particular figures and you have to think about the juxtaposition of everything. You got this Disney princess who is a rebel holding a grenade with a bandana across her face. So yeah, I mean it's a great piece that everybody's kind of been searching for,
Yeah, man. So I think it's pretty dope.
Yeah, it is. And it's sitting in my glass case, which I'm about to remove all that stuff and sell some other pieces and just kind of minimize because I have too much stuff, way too much stuff. So yeah, there you go. People.
That's cool, man. That's cool. Yeah, that's interesting. I think it's a cool piece, and I'm a big fan of artwork. Like I love going to museums and checking that stuff out, or looking at digital artwork, anything like that. That maybe avant-garde or different. You know what I'm trying to say? Not just a painting on the wall. So I think that's pretty dope.
Yes, indeed.
That was something that I thought about this weekend. I don't know why I started thinking about this. I can't remember why it popped up in my head. And it was probably more dealing with music or something like that, or actors, something like that. But I started thinking like the artist's mind, right? The
Mm,
artist's mind
right.
is one of those things that most people will never truly understand, because I think like personally the way that I think is like when like I have like a brain synapse or whatever you want to call it pops into my head with an idea about a video that I want to do, or a concept on a recipe I want to do,
Right.
or photo or something like that. I think about it and it all builds within, maybe a few moments. And then I can completely write it down and then try to recreate that, right? Or in
Hmm.
the moment when I have filmed 30 minutes, like the other day I had to cut a 20-minute video down to like 4 minutes, 3 minutes. I was like, as I'm filming all that, I have some ideas, but I'm filming it all. And then
Right.
as I start to edit, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do bam, 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 bam. And in like, an hour and a half, I was able to cut all that down and put it exactly where I wanted to piece it together.
Yeah.
By the way, that's game day sausage and burnt in sliders that you can now see on Hooks Rub Instagram, and also on our YouTube. But then again, I think YouTube has a copyright claim against it, even though it's free
Uh-oh.
music. Whatever. Anyway,
That's funny.
what I would say
Yeah.
though is like the artist's mind. I think it might be the same mindset for people in the art world, creating art, or actors creating a character or whatever it is. I think it seems like, your mind goes to a specific place, and if you talk to somebody about it that's not, you know, of a similar like artistic mindset, it may
Mhm.
take a bit for them to actually understand it unless they see
Right.
it visually, or can
Right.
read it.
Right.
What do you
Exactly.
think about that?
I think you're right. I mean, a certain aspect, I think everybody has a creative, artistic mind. It doesn't
Mhm.
necessarily have to be like in the visual arts or music or anything like that, but I think
Mhm.
everybody has a certain artistry about them. Like you take your food as an artistry. That's like an art creative type of a
Mhm.
setting that not everybody can do. You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it it is interesting to listen. Like I listen to a lot of artist talks, and I guess their process for coming up with things, and
Uh-huh.
it's always interesting how people's imagination works.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I could remember back in the day, like a lot of these old classical artists from like the 1800s and stuff like that in France.
Mhm.
A lot of
Mhm.
them were like under the influence, and a lot of them had like psychological problems. So it's always interesting to hear how some of that plays, and then kind of wonder about some of these people today, some of these well-known artists today, if they have like some kind of underlying mental issues, mental problems. You wonder,
Yeah.
it's not necessarily out in the open. You think about somebody like, let's just say Basquiat, for instance.
Mhm.
He had like a heroin addiction,
Yeah.
drug problem. So why he had that drug problem, I don't know. You know,
Yeah.
never
Yeah.
know. There's probably something he was dealing with, and he gravitated toward that, and he was able to
Yeah.
create this crazy work that's now selling for multi-million dollars. Too
Yeah.
bad he's not alive to enjoy that, but
Yeah. Yeah.
uh,
Exactly. It's crazy, man. And even like when you think of it like that, even from like the drug standpoint, like think of Edgar Allan Poe, right? Dude was apparently,
yep,
he was high on opium a lot back then.
yep.
That's what the stories are. And I don't know if the opioids, brought him to this dark place to create the artwork and the plays and the stories and stuff that he did that seemed to be on the darker realm or whatever. But it would seem, I know that there's a lot of artists, musicians, I'll say maybe from more standpoint, standpoint of musicians and actors who they use that as fuel. They use drugs or they had in the past used drugs, to like use that as a fuel to create characters or create whatever, write music or, write, plays or write movies. They use that as part of the creative process.
Right.
And it's so weird because you're like, dude, why don't you just do it, like normal? Because you're such a brilliant person, such a brilliant artist. And who knows, they probably can and probably could do it just as normal. But for some reason they thought, or maybe they did a project, by using, something like that. And it, blew their mind and took them up to, open up their fifth eye. I'm trying to say their third eye, whatever you call it.
Fifth eye. Damn, like which one? They
got 2 eyes beyond the regular. They got 3 eyes beyond the regular third eye. No, but I don't know, man. It just always seems interesting to me because trying to think. What am I trying to think? Okay, so I did a video a few weeks ago that was the Can We Talk challenge with the McRib sandwich, right?
Right.
And I made a McRib, and I had there's like a group of barbecue friends that we have like a little text chain. We always text each other random stuff. And somebody said something about a McRib. And I said, I'm getting ready to do a video. I've been planning to do a video for a long time. I want to do one. And this other guy was like, oh dude, I want to do a recipe and post about one too, something like that. So I was like, cool. So then I started texting him, individually or something like that, or polo him individually. And I was like, hey man, you know what? I think that'd be cool. Maybe we could do one together, a tandem one. And then I gave him my concept for what I was thinking. And it was like, it wasn't literally explosions and stuff like it, but it was like boom, explosions here and slow motion here and stop motion and blah, blah, blah. And like the McRib flies in, another McRib, like gets smashed by the new McRib, like all this stuff. And he was like, man, you have thought this out way farther than I have. And honestly, that guy, what does he do? He's like, I don't know. His occupation is just like, I don't know, like some kind of like medical, like supervisor, like medical company supervisor, something like that. He's not an artistic person, like so to speak, like you would be, right?
Mm-hmm.
His creativity is more like creating foodstuffs. But it's not like his background is not necessarily like in a finer art, a fine art. So explaining that to him, his mind was sort of blown. He was like, what? He's like, I was just going to take a picture in a short video or something. I was like, nah, that's bro, when we do this, we got to do this big. So he ended up, saying, hey, he just want to do like his own thing, which I was like, cool, whatever. And that's when I created my own. And I think I came to a block, right? So I was like, I want to make this sandwich, but I needed something to push me to make it. I needed not push me, but I needed something to motivate, be the motivating factor in in how I was going to make it. So I happened upon the Can We Talk challenge, Tevin Campbell, Can We Talk, that old song. And I happened upon that Can We Talk challenge, that was made by Tank, also a musician, on Instagram. And I was like, you know what? That's the best. And immediately my mind went to going to buy a McRib at McDonald's, which I already had in the original plan, and eating it, being disappointed by what I had. And I swear that was probably like maybe the first or maybe even the second McRib I ever had in my life. And then being disappointed by that and saying, you know what, I can make a better one, and creating a better one.
Yeah.
And also doing a parody, singing the song while creating making a music video. And it turned out great. I loved it. I thought it was hilarious.
Personally. I would love to reshoot that video with you because I have so many ideas after you did that.
Okay, we need to figure out how and when we can make that happen.
That could be fun. That could be fun.
I would be down to do I can't remember what they call it, but web redemption. I don't know which one to call it.
No, it was great the way it is. It's great the way it is.
I don't know, man, but it's stuff like that where I think about things and I like tell stuff to my wife, and she's just like, I have no clue what you just said. You know what I'm trying to say? Just because my mindset is from an artistic mindset, where her mindset is more like an analytical mindset.
Right.
So I don't know. It's not like it can't be both, but that's just I think of like butterflies and rainbows, whereas she doesn't have the same thoughts as much. I don't know. She does. She's a girl, so it is what it is.
Yeah,
But
so good.
Yeah, man. And looking at thinking about that, it's interesting because you look at your kids, right? And your kids are artistic kids, in a lot of different ways. My kids are too. And my daughter is more musically and dance artistic, whereas my son is more like drawing and illustrating artistic. Like he's he has some crazy good artwork. I should send you some pictures sometime. And it's his own style. The style that he has is definitely different. And and when you talk to him and stuff like that, it doesn't seem like he has that in him. But then you look at the stuff that he creates, and I think he just zones out and he starts, making these random characters and stuff like that. So it's interesting when you look at the kids and see what they create, either with Legos or with painting or music, whatever it is, and you try to get a sense of oh, do they have some kind of little artist mindset developing in the back of their head,
So good. Yeah, man. Sometimes you just gotta foster that creativity. You gotta, especially our kids and stuff. Like I know I've been drawing for a long time, and of course my parents they didn't take notice or anything like that. So not until I got to maybe 11th grade, then my mom was like, "Oh, I think you got something here. Let me go bring this to the university and see what they think." And then of course they were like, "Oh, this looks good. Let's try and get him into college early." So that whole thing. So that kind of if my mom didn't do that, I wouldn't know what I'd be doing right now. I probably wouldn't. I don't know. I have no clue. I don't know if I'd be in the art field or anything like that. But as parents, we gotta kind of take notice of that type of stuff early and just try to guide them. Not really force them or push them to where they get sick of it. But sick of us pushing them. But just kind of guide them along.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. And then it's another thing. Two things I thought about when you were saying that. I'm gonna have to look up this video real quick. But there's another thing where you're saying that you just sort of have to. You don't know where potentially where you would be or what you would be thinking. If you if you hadn't. If you hadn't got that little push or that little motivation or that notice from your mom,
Right.
including university. What I was thinking was you probably wouldn't, but then again, think about this. Some people don't get it until they're out of college or until they're maybe in college trying to find their way. You know what I'm trying to say? They're trying to find their way in college. And then, and I just added something that I was going to talk about in a second, but they try to find their way in college, and they find it maybe after a year or two of taking basics. And that ends up being something that they love. Or, they go through a full 4 years of university. And then after they get out of school, they're like, dang, I ain't want to do that at all. And, they're lost for a few years and then they finally found it. That's me. Yeah, that's me. I went for one thing. I graduated for one thing. And while I still have love for that and I still use it in, broadcasting and journalism I use that a lot, but my passion turned elsewhere after college. So it's interesting, man.
That's like me too. I should have been in film and video. What am I doing now? Doing graphic design. It's something that I didn't intend on taking or learning, but I was kind of forced to take a class to move on to another level, kind of as a prerequisite. And what do you know? Some years, many years after graduating from college,
Mhm.
I couldn't get a job in my profession to save
Isn't
my
that
life.
crazy? Isn't that
That
crazy?
that is so wow. And it's not until like maybe the past, I say the past, so I'm 41 now, the past 10 years,
Mhm.
I had to kind of navigate myself into this lane of saying, hey, I know how to do this because I studied this in college.
Mhm.
You know, kind of let me show you what I could do. So it took me 7 years, 8 years after the fact, after college, to actually be able to kind of dip my toes into the field that I graduated in. So it's
Isn't that
wow.
crazy?
And like I say, I'm 41 now. I still don't know what I want to do. I mean, I'm in this
Yeah.
profession. I don't want to do this forever. I don't
Yeah.
even want to do it now.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
still don't know. I just want to do something creative, and I still
Yeah.
don't know exactly what it is that life is going to bring me.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
So
so wild, man, and it's gonna pop up at exactly the right time. And even though I mean, shoot, it's been this long or whatever you want to call it. I think that the time that you spent working and learning and creating, and then probably having access to maybe more tools than you would have had maybe without it, right? Like you have, through your company, through work, you have access to, free internet or whatever you want to call it, through work. You have access to, technology, to your computers, to maybe
mhm.
software and things like that, hardware that maybe you wouldn't have had, or maybe it would have taken you longer to get it, without having that job. But it's all, to a point, it's all like, building and growing and learning off of, the tools that you have available. And then one day, whenever that opportunity pops up,
Uh-huh.
you'll be like, well, I'm more prepared today than I was, previously, because I've had access to this. I've had an opportunity
Yeah.
to work, and then also sort of hone my craft on the side without even
Right.
without even knowing that's what I was doing.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, I think, I mean, for me, if you'd asked me when I graduated college, you going be somebody who created a barbecue seasoning, and like, that's like, where your life, sort of like one of your,
You'd have
one of the
probably
things
been
that
like,
you
nah.
highly value in life, dude, I'd be like, I'll eat all the barbecue you give me,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. Yeah.
you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
That was not in the cards for me initially.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I think, working in restaurants and then doing like, you know, doing a lot of voiceover work and, you know, acting, singing, dancing, production work took me to a place to where I could do what I'm doing now and be even more creative and have more I don't know, like more I don't know, like just more creative ideas than most
Mm.
people who are doing the same thing. And
Yeah.
I don't know,
So
whatever.
here's a question for you. If there was YouTube back when you were about to graduate high school, or just say like that 11th, 12th grade year
High
when you were
school,
trying
yeah.
to figure out what you may be interested in learning in college, would you have gone to college? Because we always talk about the university of YouTube right now. You
Hmm.
can find anything you want on YouTube. Do you think you would have just went straight to college, or would you have tried to get that camera, tried to start doing commentary or
Hmm.
voiceover work or just
I
little
think,
videos?
yeah, that's a good question. I think the way that I was brought up, the way we were raised, was
Mm,
probably in a similar light, the way
yeah,
to the way like our parents like said, hey, all right, you must go to college and do this and this and this, and just to go to college just to get experience with just life and other people, but then also go to college to maybe have like a backup plan or something that you can,
true.
use
Very
to
true.
do in the future.
Backup plan.
So that's the way my parents brought me up, and I know my parents would not have brought me up any other way now, or if the same setup was there. So I think, and what I've seen is a lot of kids who come out of high school who going into college now, or even kids that are like freshmen in college, they may have their own YouTube, like, sports or news page or fashion page or style page, right? Or if they don't have a YouTube one, they have an Instagram one, or they have a TikTok one, So that's what they're doing all this stuff. And the crazy thing is, like, they're creating content that is potentially resume work, right? It's resume material. So had that been me coming out back then, if I had access to the similar stuff, like the YouTube and video creation, like in the palm of your hand,
Right.
I would have done some of that stuff and gone into college with just whatever that knowledge is, and then I probably my if I went into broadcast journalism or photojournalism, if I went into acting, then if I went into something like that, it would have probably been more skewed to, like, social media or digital content creation or something like that, or even like advertising and marketing, something like that, compared to just straight up stand in front of the camera and not learn anything up to that point. I definitely would have used the resources at hand. And who knows? Maybe I would have did that and gotten to college and been like, dude, I hate this. What the heck am I doing? Or maybe not. But yeah, at that point, being some kind of like pit master, whatever you want to call it, that was nowhere near my radar, man. Nowhere near it. So
I hear
so
you.
what about you, man? Do you think had you gone into college with the or graduation from high school with the knowledge and the access to YouTube and things like that, and Google? Google is, I think, the biggest game changer.
Google.
Would you have maybe changed what you started?
No, I probably wouldn't have went, man. I probably would not. No, no college. Because essentially, now that I think about it, I don't even need a degree to do what I'm doing. The in the creative field, like the art field and stuff like that, I don't need a degree at all. And I think about that all the time. Like, do we honestly need to go to college for the majority of stuff that we're doing today? Because let's just say there's a large percentage of people out there that are not working in the field that they intended on being in, went to college for. Now, I could say medical professions and stuff like that. Yeah, you need that, because I don't want nobody with a high school degree trying to operate on me, learning videos from YouTube. So my degree, visual arts, it just takes discipline, picking up majority of the time. I just picked up books and read. That's all we had to do in lecture classes: pick up books, read, spend time trying to zone in and hone your craft. That's all it really was. So thankfully I had scholarships, so I didn't have to pay like a ton of money to for my degree. But still, I probably, now that I think about it, I probably would not have went. But then at the same time, I probably wouldn't have met my wife. So hey, there's always that. So
there's always that. And what's wild? I'm trying to think. Thinking in the same vein, one of my best friends coming out of college, we're like sort of acquaintances, in college. But then, like, I'd say like the last like maybe month or two of school is when I met her, and we started hanging out and we were just friends. And then we continued our friendship after school, because we're both sort of in the same scenario. We're both creatives. We're both just trying to make it in the world, and in this acting, singing, whatever, like, world that we live in, and in that area. And we didn't live far away from each other, and we had worked sort of similar hours. So we hung out, and she introduced me to this girl that she was trying to hook me up with, that she worked with, which that never happened. Turned out to be friends with her. But a couple years down the line, something like that, she, across the miles, introduced me to my wife. So it's a similar scenario. Like, had I not gone to college, because my college wasn't even in my town. Like, my college was 4 hours away. From where I grew up. So had I not gone to college, my future from that point, definitely would have, probably would have been different. So who knows? Who knows? Maybe you meet these people, in some other way, possibly. But obviously there's a direct connection to being where you are in a time and a place, and all these things sort of working together, and meeting whoever you meet. So yeah, man, it's wild. So what I want to talk about real quick was when you were talking about, you have to guide your kids, maybe not push them. Have you ever seen this? Instagram account, this Roland P90X?
I don't think so, but I kind of sort of recognize like those video
Screen.
caps. Yeah.
Yeah. So this guy, I think he might have used to play football, but I may be way off. So anyway, so I don't know if he's a single dad or maybe not, but he always does these videos with his daughter, who does gymnastics, right? And so here's a video that I saw part of it. I'd seen this before, I think,
Yeah.
and it
Okay.
was in some other reel, some other reel or story. But they were showing this, and at one point in time, he does this, he flips her, and then he like almost drops her, right? And she like doesn't fall. Like apparently every time, he catches her and stuff like that. So the little girl starts to cry at this point right here. And he's like, "What's wrong?" And she's like, "I almost got hurt. I almost fell and got hurt on the ground." And he's like, "Well, Daddy's not going to let you fall. Daddy's not going to let you get hurt. So you didn't get hurt. So don't worry about that. Worry about your technique, right?" And she goes on from this point, and he comforts her. He gives her a little hug, and they sort of like he sort of like tries to reassure her that way. And it's almost from like, if you think about it, it's almost from like almost like a coach to player standpoint.
Right.
He's like, what? Be confident in your skill, be confident in your technique, and be confident in then who you're working with, and you won't hit the ground, you won't get hurt, you won't fall. So let's try this again. So he quickly like goes back into this thing again, and the girl ends up performing. And this girl, I've seen several of her videos. Look at that, that's insane, man.
Yeah.
I do not have trust in myself for throwing my kid up like that. So and maybe he was a professional cheerleader, or college. I can't remember, something like that. But look at that. That's amazing. So something like that. So there were people in the comments of the page that I saw it on initially. Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, definitely he used to be a cheerleader with that post. There was people in the comments that were saying, is this, I don't know. They were saying that they're sorry for the little girl. They're saying that the dad is like pushing her to do something. They're saying clearly she doesn't enjoy what she's doing. And there's so many of these videos that I've seen. I wouldn't say so many. I've seen, maybe like a dozen of their videos.
Right.
And I remember seeing this maybe like a year ago or something like that. But, they've seen like a dozen of their videos, and, in similar situations, most of the time it doesn't show him, dropping her or her almost falling, something like that. But, every now and then it will show something like that. And, then he's reassuring, and, he has more of a softer response to her than this one would seem. So there's so many people are like, "Man, I feel sorry for that kid. You're forcing her to do what you want her to do. This clearly isn't this something that she enjoys, blah, blah, blah. This is not the life that she wants." I'm like, first of all, this is a baby. Like, she's not a baby, but like, she's a little kid. So, to a certain point in kids' lives, you sort of like guide them to something that you probably want them to do, or maybe something you think that they might enjoy, right? Like, not every girl is going to like dancing or tap dancing or gymnastics or whatever, but you could let them try it, but then you could also let them try some kind of sport. Not every boy's going to like sports, but you could let them try it and then sort of go from there. And so in a scenario like this, do you think this is more active? Like his profile says active father, right? So you think this is more of like an active father, like being, trying to motivate and trying to make this kid not just like we call it like a softie, if you want to make like compared to some kids now, or do you think this is maybe more like forcing the kid into something?
I mean, from what I see, it doesn't look like he's forcing. I mean, is he
There's mom
motivating and guiding her to to be better, and especially what you said, he kind of talked to her about, as far as like trusting and
Mhm.
or trusting your partner not to
Yeah.
drop you and stuff like that. I see that more as a guiding type of thing, a motivating type of
Mhm.
aspect to this. You know, I there's like
Wow.
other instances where I see parents forcing forcing kids to do something, and if the
Mhm.
kid doesn't genuinely like it, they keep on forcing them to do it because maybe they were like a failed athlete in the past or something like that.
Mhm.
you know so that's when,
Wow.
that's kind of what I was getting to earlier. Like, I don't want to force my kids to do something that they don't genuinely have I guess, a passion to do.
Yeah.
But then of course they have to give it time, and if they give it time and they still don't like it, and I'm still forcing them to do it, then that's when I have an issue with it. But if I'm just
Yeah.
guiding them along and letting them find their own way within a particular activity,
Mhm.
that's I could rock with that. But from what
Yeah.
I see, this father's doing this. He just looks like he's supporting her. It looks like It seems like she's genuinely enjoying it. You
Yeah.
know,
And the thing is, the crazy part is, we only know what we see
correct.
from this part, right? So
Hmm.
so we only know what we see from what they show. So I mean, the kid obviously looks like she's having a good time. She's smiling and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Mom and dad. I see the mom, and it seems like maybe the mom and dad were both cheering at some point, right?
Hmm.
And maybe that's how they met. I don't know, but it seems like that's maybe what their history is. So in a case like that, where you have two parents who were athletes in whatever vein, like if you have two parents who were like, one was a sprinter and one was like a basketball player, a football player,
Right. Right.
or in this case, both of them look like cheerleaders. And there you go. Mom is up and dad's holding her. You know, something like this, you probably expect, and they have pads down, which I'm gonna tell you, I've seen a girl fall. I've seen a couple girls fall, but I saw one live fall. In a practice when I was in a show with a cheerleader or somebody like that. And oh man, that's a long fall. But um, you know, they would probably most likely put their kids in something similar to what they did. You
Yeah.
know, if they had, they have a girl and a boy, so maybe their boy is going to go into something like this, or maybe
Mm.
they're going to put their boy in some other kind of sport. But you
Yeah.
have athletic kids, you normally don't know that until they're like, I don't know, 5 or 6, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Maybe even younger, but normally not that old. So then you make those decisions. But like you said, I think this is maybe a parent still in that age of a kid not really truly knowing, but the kid seems to be enjoying it. I would be interested to see when this little girl gets maybe 3-4 years older, 5 years older, and I don't know how old
Mm.
the kid is right now, but when they get older, and you could really tell uh you know if she is having a good time or if she's ready to not do this. And they're in Frisco, so
Yeah.
they're right up the street
They're
from
right
y'all.
up there. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like this, I asked myself because we have a cousin who has a son. I don't know if I should even say the name. Has a son that's very tall, athletic,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
and he's following in his father's footsteps
Yeah.
in a sense. So then I asked myself, is he doing? Well, I hadn't seen the kid since he was like a little kid, and
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
now he's like what, 6'5", 6'6", or something like
Yeah.
that.
He's,
He's
how old
super
is he?
tall.
He's
He's probably what,
14.
14?
Yeah, he's just
14.
turned 14. Yeah, because he's just barely like, he's like a year and a couple months older than my oldest. So
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, that's
So
that's a good question. Yeah, I haven't
yeah,
seen him
so
in a few years myself.
yeah,
So
yeah. So I asked myself, is he doing this because he genuinely likes it? He sees his father and his uncle, who are
mhm.
both basketball stars in their high school, college, and then beyond
They even
that.
played professionally. Yeah, yeah.
Yes, professionally. You're doing it because you want to do it and you genuinely like it, or are you doing it because you see that as I guess, a way to, I don't want to say please your father
Your
or
parents.
please your
Yeah,
family,
yeah.
but somewhere along those lines. I mean, I do see the benefit of it because if you do
Mhm.
play, and you could get a scholarship to a school.
Yeah.
You get possible free money, and then you could go ahead and study whatever you want to study on that free education.
Mm-hmm.
But then it comes, do you really like to play this particular sport? So
Yeah.
I ask myself those things. I don't know what's going on inside these kids' minds, some of these kids' minds.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
it's just something I always ask myself.
That's a good question, man. And honestly, like, it's so crazy because that cousin of ours, him, like, his wife was tall and I believe
Yes.
athletic as well. I don't think
Yeah.
she our younger cousin's mom, mom and dad, right? He was a basketball star, and I can't remember, I don't think she played sports in college, but I know she was an athlete, or maybe she did. Actually,
Yeah.
I think she did. I think she might have been
Yeah.
in track. I might be way off, but you have two athletic parents in that scenario, and from all accounts, like I said, I haven't seen the kid in a couple years. Unfortunately, last time I went to Texas, we didn't see him, but by all accounts, he really enjoys doing what he does.
Okay.
I know he plays basketball, he plays baseball, and he's great at it. It's not like he's just there playing; like, he's actually really, really good. So yeah. So at what point do you think about that? And all kids come to a realization at some point if they love it or not. Or maybe they get to college and like, what, I don't want to do this anymore. Because I would say, between that cousin, the dad, and his brother, the other basketball star, his wife was a cheerleader, and all these parents are amazing people and great parents. Like, I've always loved
Definitely.
all of them, and like never had an issue with any of them. Like, matter of fact, like, a couple of them were in my wedding. So, I love them to death, and would never question their parenting skills because they were like well older than me and they've experienced way more than us. But the other brother, he was a basketball star. His wife was a cheerleader. Also very talented athlete, and their daughter played basketball. She played volleyball too, I think. And I think she got to a point, and she was really good too. And she got to a point, I think, where she got to college and she was like, you know what, I just want to do school. And maybe she got to a point where she, didn't want to do it anymore. But talking to her and then seeing her play games and, listening to her talk about it, like, you could tell that she enjoyed doing it. You could tell it seemed like, she didn't get forced or whatever. She wasn't trying to please anybody. She did it because she liked it. And when she got to the point that she didn't like it, that's just stop. But I think the cool thing about it is this, because I think I've talked to each of these guys about it, or maybe I've heard them say it in conversation in one of those veins or both, was that, like, when their kids get to a point, if their kids tell them, hey, I don't want to do this anymore, and they could tell that they're like genuine about that thought process, then they'll say, all right, let's do something else. But they're like, but our family is like, we got to keep these kids active, right? And I think that's sort of like what happens, and those kids grew up on the country with our grandparents. Our parents had a similar, like, sort of like mindset when it came to us just sitting around, doing nothing. Like, you got to be active in whatever you're doing. You got to have some kind of something to focus on, right? So I think that both of those parents, both of our cousins, would not push their kid to do something that they don't like if the kid is to a point where they don't want to do it anymore. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
They would let them pivot. And I have cousins on the other side of my family where it's a brother-sister combo, and they're both very talented athletes too. I think that the sister was softball, volleyball. The son was baseball. In the last year of high school, I think the sister didn't want to do anything anymore, and the son wanted to play professionally and then also go to college. And like, these are kids who traveled around the country going to big tournaments where they were like in front of the professionals, in front of college, college recruiters and stuff like that, and coaches. So it's not like they just were like, just playing in high school. So the son wanted to continue, and he ended up getting a scholarship, to play in college, and had some professional opportunities. And then the daughter, she ended up going, to college. I think just academic scholarship. But the daughter got to a point where she was like, you know what, I don't want to do it anymore. And I think, and I think this is where the lack of being able to see and talk to these kids and hang out with them as much comes in, because I think for a point some of the family was like, man, are they forcing the kid to do that? But then I think when you saw that they just like, she was like, okay, I just want to go to school. They're like, okay,
Right,
cool.
right.
And they just let her do her school thing. And she's one of those kids where it's the same thing. Like, she did athletics and all this stuff. I think she went to college for some kind of business degree, but now she makes like amazing desserts and cakes. Like, it's like, what?
So,
that's not what you did at all.
yeah,
But maybe she found her passion, after the fact. So,
yeah. Interesting
know,
how
man.
life works out.
It definitely is. And it's interesting to look at these and just sort of see like based off what you said earlier, are you pushing your kid to do something that they may not necessarily want to do? Or are you, are you guiding them in a direction that, maybe you'd like them to go, and then letting them, try to navigate that. And, if they don't like it, trying to help them pivot to something else without pushing them,
Yeah.
It's an interesting concept.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
We're at that. I guess our children are at that age where we're taking notice.
Yeah. Really big time. Yeah.
Hopefully, we could steer them in the right. I just don't want my kids to be quitters. That's the main thing. Just plain quit and don't want to try.
Big time too, man. I think so too. I think one of I wouldn't say it's like a regret, because there's other things that came up from this that set me on, I think, an enjoyable course in school. But like, after my second year, going in my junior year of playing baseball in high school, we had a lot of prima donnas. We had a lot of people that the coaches favored over other people. I was a 2-sport athlete. I played football, but my passion growing up was baseball. And it just wasn't fun anymore, because you could see who always got playing time. And there are a handful of us who are there every day, who did hard, who worked hard. It just seemed like the coaches weren't ever focusing on us. So I walked up and quit one day. There's a couple of us walked up and quit. And man, I'm telling you, the look on my dad's face, because my dad was a baseball dude. Like, he played baseball in college. Like, that was his favorite sport. So and he's the one who sort of, brought me to the sport, obviously. So the look on his face and like his reaction, boy, I still remember. I thought I was gonna get knocked smooth out. But I think at some point, after his initial disappointment and not playing in high school anymore was over, he was like, all right, well, focus on school, focus on football, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, you know what? You could always try it again if you want to in college, if you really want to. So, he didn't force it. But, thinking of that, like, I think about that sometimes. I'm like, dang, I quit. Like, I was one of those people. And so, I think from that point, I always thought, like, don't just quit because something doesn't go your way immediately. And I try to express that to my kids too. If it doesn't go your way immediately, try to think through it, try to work through it. And if it gets to a point where you can't handle it or you can't change the outcome and you just need a new perspective and change, then leave it and go do something else. Maybe come back to it if you want to. I think that reaction by my dad, having that mindset of you can try again once you get to college or whatever, I think that really helped me in knowing that, even though I quit, I still had another opportunity if I really wanted to take it.
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Not be a quitter though, man. Yeah. Not be a quitter just because. So yeah.
Absolutely.
So I don't know. So lots of crazy stuff there. This is a good conversation. And honestly, it's a conversation that, we were talking about all of the technology that was available, all the videos and all these other things that you have available at your hands, now that we didn't have available back then.
Right.
One of those things is Instagram, and people who are aspiring models want to go on Instagram and
Oh
just
yeah.
be the prettiest, the handsomest, whatever, the
Most
most curves, the
voluptuous.
most ripped muscles, whatever it is,
Mm-hmm.
all that, and they want to have the bubble butts, because Kim K and people like that, who, I think we've come to find out some people like that put in the fake booties, but that's neither here nor there.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
didn't you say you found a story about somebody having
Yes.
tuberculosis of the butt?
Tuberculosis in the booty. Yeah. uh,
Oh my
I didn't know that
gosh.
was supposed to come out that way, but yeah. So
The way you
found this
sang
right
it, the
before.
way you sang it.
Yeah, found this right before we started recording. So apparently, this IG model uh, went was rushed to the hospital after her Brazilian butt lift surgery complications, and she now has tuberculosis in her butt. Yes, yes, people. So her name is Dime Rex. Oh, nice name, Dime Rex.
Dime Rex.
Yes, nice looking girl. Yeah, she's a nice, pretty girl, apparent from this current picture
Let me
that I'm
see if I
looking
can
at.
get it. Can you share
Uh,
it, or do you want me to
let's
find it?
see.
I think
Let me
I can
share. Let
find
me
it.
share. Here we go. Share
IG model
screen.
Rissa.
Boom. Share. Can you see it? Can you see it?
Wait. Hold on. Sorry. I need to add it to this. Here we go. Dime Rex. Okay.
Dime Rex. So there you go. Name is
First of
Dime.
all, your name is Dime Rex.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Come on, bro.
Yeah.
Okay.
There she
Okay.
is. Yeah. So
Keep
last
going.
month, Miss Diamond, I guess her, yeah, Miss Dime Rex went to a popular IG doctor. That was the issue right there. She went to an IG doctor,
IG doctor.
just like I said, I wasn't gonna have surgery by somebody who practiced medicine on YouTube. This person, yeah, IG doctor. I'll just say that specialized in body modification, and she got a new Brazilian butt lift. I don't know what the process is for Brazilian butt lifts, but yeah,
Wow.
whatever. So already, let's see, she already undergone multiple BBLs before. Why? Okay. So her latest surgery was supposed to be a quick re-up. So she did a re-up. This is not drugs, people. She did a re-up. Here's Diamond before surgery. I didn't play this video.
Oh man.
Let's see.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, he's a board certified surgeon.
Okay. Dimes B Racky. I can't hear it, but it's all right.
Nah. So I don't know if people could hear this, but anyway, yeah, he's trying to. She already looked like she has
a bit of a lift.
Curves. Yeah, she already looks like she has the curves that she needs. How big some women want to go? I'll just fast forward through this just to see if there's an after process.
This is the thing, though. Like at some point, I guess maybe there's all these people who say like normalize this and normalize that. Normalize like being comfortable and satisfied with your own body. Yeah, that's the sad part, man. There's too many people that aren't.
Hey, yeah.
So this is the IG doctor, right?
That's the IG doctor. And apparently, like I said, it's supposed to be board certified. I don't know what went wrong, but yeah, something went wrong. And Diamond has organisms growing in the fat of her butt.
Bruh.
So she has like she has like sea monkeys
that
growing back there. I don't know. So yeah, let's see. The doctor can be heard telling the beauty that she has organisms and tuberculosis in her butt fat.
Bruh. So how is it? So hold on a second. So did he go to her? Did he tell her that after?
No, well, I'm thinking this is another doctor.
Like on a checkup.
This is the emergency room doctor. Yeah, so this is the emergency room doctor that said that.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody different.
When was this? That's insane. Man, that I gotta say, man, that's crazy. So you go and maybe she was experiencing some kind of itchy butt. I'm trying to say, like,
Wow.
you know what I'm trying to say? Like, she
Yeah.
got like itchy butt or something like that. And so she was like, all right, I need to go to the regular doctor. Goes to the regular doctor. Regular doctor is like, yeah, we did a what is it? We did an X-ray, or what do you want to call it? Like, we did okay, yeah, I see the original post. We not maybe not X-ray, but they did like a blood test, right? And they're like, yeah, you got how? I don't even how. So whatever fat that they is a Brazilian butt lift a fat transfer from within your body to within your body, or is it a fat transfer from like some kind of fat that they have either like synthetic fat or that they've like harvested from someone else, and then they put it into your body?
Let me see. Let's just look. What is a Brazilian butt lift?
What
Okay,
is
so
a
the fat
BBL?
transfer. Come on, internet. Let's see. BBL,
Wow.
Brazilian butt lift. Come on. There you go. Okay. So it is fat transfers and aesthetic surgery that allows you to increase the buttocks while remodeling the silhouette. Technique consists of 2 steps. First, the surgeon performs a traditional liposuction to extract fat located in areas such as the abdomen. So that's probably what she was doing. Waist, hips, or thighs. The fat goes through a purification process, and then the surgeon redistributes it to the buttocks through injections, achieving the molding and increase in volume desired by the patient. So that's essentially what it is.
So you're taking your own fat and putting it somewhere else.
Yes.
Okay, that's a good thing. But this is the thing. And I know that she made this video, that I have up here right now, where she was like, oh no, she got rushed to the hospital. Yeah. So, she made this video. So this is the thing. Did she already have that in her system, or was it unclean utensils, or was it inexperienced doctor? Because that those are all the things, right? You could be a board certified doctor but be a bad doctor, right?
Yeah, true.
Or you could unfortunately have unclean utensils. I guess this is her talking or something like that. You could have unclean utensils, or you could have just like a random thing that happens, that it just accidentally happens. I mean, like, we already know that COVID, it just seems to hit people so randomly. Like I said, my daughter had it, and she basically had like a sniffle, right? And she even tested a couple times after that, and she had no symptoms. There's some people that have very bad symptoms, sadly.
Right.
So, and it's like, how did you get it? Because like my daughter, she is always masked up, even having had her second vaccine, she's still always masked up at school and stuff like that, unless she's like eating or whatever. So it's like, well, how the heck, did you just happen to get it? And it's just like just a moment where it could just pop in and happen. You breathe in something at the wrong time. And in a case like this, maybe it was an unsterile, scenario in the operating room. Something just happened to happen. Somebody may have sneezed. Like something happened, like tuberculosis. I don't think you just get it just because. Maybe with like a blood transfusion or dirty utensils, maybe you can get it there. Otherwise, I thought it was something that like had to be developed within your body.
Thought something. What if by chance, after she got home, of course this stuff has to heal, she sat on a dirty toilet seat and it got into the area of question,
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, let's see here. TB. Let me see. So TB is spread through the air from one person to another. Oh, okay. The TB germs are passed through the air when someone who is sick with tuberculosis disease coughs, laughs, sings, or sneezes. If you breathe air that has tuberculosis germs, you may get TB infection. This means you have only dormant sleeping tuberculosis germs in your body. So there you go. So that's possibly what happened. It was in the air somewhere. This is the thing, though. This is the thing about that definition of tuberculosis. It could have happened from that doctor. Wait, does it say it was in her butt, though?
Yeah, it says in the
Okay,
butt.
it's in her blood. So it's in her blood. It was in her fat. So therefore, it had to have happened there. Yeah. It had to have happened there. Or like you said, it could have happened, if she had like stitches or something like that and she went to the restroom. Yeah.
It's just interesting because I'm wondering what her symptoms was to figure this out. Because I'm seeing this as a pulmonary disease.
Let's see here.
So in some of the symptoms, signs and symptoms are coughing, coughing up blood or mucus, chest pain, unintentional weight loss, fatigue, fever, night sweats, and chills. Did all this occur in the butt?
Wow.
That's kind of funny.
just a butt fever.
Night sweats. Your butt starts sweating at night.
Butt have loss of appetite.
I
don't know. I do not know, man. I don't know. It's so crazy, man. It's so crazy. And now she says somebody come stay with you and not stay with her in the hospital. Bruh, ain't nobody gonna come and stay with you in the hospital because they can contract the TB too. Come on now. And besides, I don't even think I don't even think what was I gonna say? I don't even think you could even go and stay with somebody in the hospital the way that you could before, because you have to be like, I don't even think like parents could stay in there. I don't know. You know what I'm trying to say?
There's just so many bad jokes come to mind thinking about this.
It's funny. This is the thing though, man. Look at this. This lady knowingly went to this doctor. She scheduled the thing. She paid for it. She went there. She had to sign, all the what do you want to call it? All of the
necessary paperwork.
Paperwork, yeah. And also the release forms.
Yes.
That they can't be held liable, right? For whatever reason. But now she wants people to comment and ask them to take it down. And she says she doesn't support it. But you did, though, because that's what you wanted to do. Like, this is a scenario where you had a choice. And unfortunately, you made the wrong choice. That's what it seems like.
Yep.
Maybe it's like the lack of research. Maybe it's just like, oh, this is a popular person. I'm going to go to them. Like, what do they call it? Dude, Dr. Miami or whoever that is who does all this stuff. So unfortunately, they made, she made the wrong choice of doctor. And sadly,
the wrong choice of viewing her body as not good enough.
That's the main thing. There was a comment on that is on Media Takeout, right? There's a comment. I think the first comment that pops up says, "Why do lots of females want to look like Blow Up Doll today?"
Yeah.
And I'm not a woman, so I can't.
True. We are not.
Give an accurate answer to that. But people started to reply and say their self-esteem's in the toilet. Black females are having fake ass and hair and fake nails and eyelashes, all this stuff. And I don't think it's just black. It's every color.
It's across the board. Yeah.
And it's sad, man. There's a lot of people who unfortunately have bad self-esteem and bad body positivity issues.
These doggone comments, man. It's like, how do you have tuberculosis? She has lung ass.
Come on. Oh my gosh. And then the next one says, first, there's no guarantee of the surgery. Once they sign the paperwork, they cannot legally sue this doctor and doctor performing these BBL surgeries, fat transfer, etc. They can't control the fat tissue from being infected. These females are clueless to the amount of bacteria in fat. Wow. It never looks good. It looks like an unnatural lump of meat sitting on lollipop sticks. Come on, man. Come on.
Sometimes it does, man. It looks pretty bad.
It does sometimes.
What's them chicken? What was the chicken pops you did?
Oh
With
yeah,
all the
lollipop chicken.
lollipop chicken. That's what it looked like.
Oh man. I tell you, man. I tell you, man. You know, that's true. It does sort of look like that. Wow. It's sad, man. It's sad. I'm raising a daughter right now too, and it's like so scary, man. Looking at some of the stuff that's out there, you know, and it's wild, man. And oh, I don't even know. I don't know. She watches SS Sniper Wolf, like whoever you know,
Oh
one of your old
Lord, I know who
favorite
that
thing.
is.
And I'm just like, man, I'm just trying to get her to look at something else now. Even though I don't know if she's necessarily bad, she just has like silly videos.
She is,
and that's all it is. So
about the most dingiest person.
yeah.
She's very yeah. She's
Thankfully, my
something
daughter's
else.
not dingy. But nah, man, it's so sad. You know, these people have these body positive issues. Then they blame men for giving them this concept. And I think we could take some blame to a point for the past. You know, past men's concepts and ideas and comments on females' body and what we perceive or we've shown to perceive as beautiful or whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
But at some point in time, when you get to a certain age and you have your own, what do you call it? Like you can think for yourself. That's when you say, is this something worth pursuing? Is this a worthwhile thing to really be worried about? Or should I worry about just being happy with me? You know?
Yeah, true. That's true.
Mental health, man. Mental health. I don't even know. Anyway, wow, that's crazy. So, ladies out there, please, no tuberculosis in your backside, which means don't get a Brazilian butt lift. You're just going to look like lollipop chicken.
Lollipop chicken. Wow.
According to Jay. So, hey, we have it's so funny. We have a few voicemails. So, Jay, tell the people where they can find us and leave us a voicemail.
All right, people. 3853-BLAKPC or 385-325-2572. Call us and let us know if you got them lollipop chicken legs or butt or body. Lollipop chicken body. That's going to be the name of the new episode. Lollipop chicken body.
Oh, man. Lollipop chicken body. Man, I can't even. All right. Here we go. First up. 3, 2, 1.
Yo, what are y'all doing? It's about what the 11th day in the year so far, the new year. Check this out. So COVID is running rapid with flu Rona. Yes, people don't know they get it. They not having symptoms. And my job is a ghost town, and I'm having a ball. But guess what? I found in my cabinet, in the other cabinet, above the stove that I never go in, that part of the cabinet I hide stuff, you know, like Lysol and stuff like that. And I live by myself. But I found a big old thing. Damn, y'all, my auntie calling me. I'll call y'all back.
So she never called us back that day.
Hello?
So she never called us back that day. That was Kayla, Kayla Stevenson, our Memphis correspondent, Memphis Diva 99. Okay, here we go.
Oh, y'all, this me. You already know who this is. I'm just getting back to y'all.
3 days later.
I got a stash cabinet on top of my stove that I never go in. You know, I have stuff like hidden Lysol and hand sanitizer and stuff like that. And so I was, you know, I said, let me go up there and see what I didn't hid. You know, for my folk come over, because, you know, Lysol, you know, it's an important entity, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's like an endangered species. But anyway, guess what? I found a big old brand new bottle of lemon pepper hooks, rub, and spice.
Oh, hold on. I'm going to pause this, Kayla. I got a bone to pick with you. You've been out here dogging us out for a few months now, saying you ain't going to listen to the show no more until you get sent some stuff because you out. And you put it in your stash cabinet that you, by your own words, claim to never go into, which is sort of scary because that's where your Lysol and hand sanitizer is. So, I don't know what the heck happened there. Hopefully you sanitize your house in another way. But you found a brand new unopened bottle of lemon pepper seasoning, which I personally remember sending you, Kayla. It's for you.
Shame,
okay.
Shame.
Shame, for shame. All right. Boo this man. Okay, here we go.
Cutting up over here, and I don't live with nobody. But me, myself, and I put it on some tilapia. When I tell you, I didn't put nothing else on that. And then I had some broccoli and some okra. It was all right. Thank you. Maybe y'all sent an elf up in here. Maybe y'all, and I don't have no, look, I'm looking around. I don't have a chimney. So I'm not boycotting y'all, okay? I don't know if you've been keeping up with the news, what they did. They arrested like 4 people in the Young Dolph murder. I had some out-of-town company. Some of my friend girls were here. We saw Raheem Devon and Leela James and Willie Clayton in concert, and it was really, really nice. And there was somebody else we saw in concert too. I forget. But so I hid stuff because they always taking T-shirts, and so I hid stuff. Yeah. One of my little baby Lysol was missing, so I think one of them got it. But they did find 4 people. So they said some more stuff is going to happen with the Young Dolph. Well, the reason I said Young Dolph because they was like, we want to go where he was at. And man, I took him up there where Young Dolph was, where he got murdered. And this girl, I guess she protected him a lot. People are interesting to me, but I'm going to call y'all back. But I don't know if I got enough time. I got to tell y'all about this incident in a minute.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah, well, she called us back a couple minutes later. But Kayla, thank you for not boycotting us anymore.
Boycotting us, yeah. Please don't cut us either.
Yeah, don't boycott us either because we have stuff that we want to keep as boys. But
yes,
we want to keep our boys. So, yeah, you hid the stuff from yourself. So you're basically boycotting with false pretenses. Boycott yourself. All right, here we go. She called back a couple minutes later.
Hey, that's me. Okay, let me ask y'all a question. Somebody famous or died, passed away. Did you ever just feel like you couldn't get up out of bed, depressed? Has anybody's death ever hit you like that? I will say, Aaliyah's death made me real sad. And Michael Jackson really upset me because I love Michael. I love the Black Michael Jackson, the off the wall Michael Jackson, the PYT Michael, the Billie Jean Michael. I was hurt when he passed.
Yeah.
And I just refused to look at anything, but I did look at Searching Neverland, like his last final days or whatever. Man, y'all need to watch it. It's on Prime. It is something. It just shows the man that he really loved his kids and stuff, but he just wanted to be a man. And he was broke. And he wanted that same treatment. But anyway, so I take my out-of-town friends up to the Young Dolph place where he got murdered. It's a cookie shop. And it was eerie. So there was a chick there sitting in front of it, the parking space where he had parked his car. And she was smoking a blunt with Young Dolph. So it was another chick there, I guess, keeping the property clean. She said she was a family member. She said her name was Bourdain. And she said, she told the chick, hey, you can't park here. Not right here. And she said, the girl told her, I'm smoking a blunt with Dolph. She said, I don't give a F what you smoking.
Wow.
And then you dripping antifreeze. So the chick that was cleaning the stuff made a move, and then she was getting the antifreeze up. I was like, damn. Now they got a clock out there to show the time when he passed. Man, this stuff's for real.
Wow.
Oh, and speaking of farts.
Where did they go?
Farts for more money because I would probably sell mine to the.
She's selling her parts.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Sell her parts for money.
Talking to the same person that made the mistake and pooed it. in the elevator, and when somebody got on, I said, "Isn't that disgusting?" They was like, "Yeah, that person's dying inside." I was like, she just left. Okay, then happy Friday. Bye.
Wow, that turned into a total different thing. That's crazy though, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. She was talking about, at any celebrity's death, made you sort of sick or whatever. So sad. I'm trying to think.
I'll say, even though I wasn't like a big fan of this person, Xxx Tentacion. And I say that because the kid was so young, and the way he got killed, it just made me think a whole lot, like what the hell is really going on.
Was that in Memphis too?
No. This was in Florida, I think. Yeah, this was in Florida somewhere, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, but him, just seeing a kid like that who was talented in his own right and had like millions and millions of followers, and see his kid get killed like that, it's just kind of, I don't know, it just got me sad for whatever reason. Him, Mac Miller overdosing. I don't know if it was more of an overdose or if he was trying to commit suicide or something like that.
Yeah.
But those two deaths, just seeing young people die like that who were in I guess this celebrity status, and just being so young, that type of stuff gets me down a little bit.
Yeah,
man.
I'm trying to think, man.
Anybody else?
Yeah. This was wild, man. I don't have anything like that, from like a celebrity standpoint. It's why, and maybe that's me, just being like numb to it and not at this point it seems like so, I wouldn't say like so common, but like just being numb to the fact that happened. Or maybe it's just me like not like being that, I don't know, like enamored with any of them. Because I don't know, like I think the last, celebrities, so to speak, that I really idolized, if you want to call it that, was like Derek Jeter, baseball player, Lawrence Taylor, who I don't know, always has issues, but that was when I was a little kid. But like, Derek Jeter probably more recently when I was an adult. So, if something were to happen to one of them, I think that would be like a sad day for me, because I have such a strong connection to them, from an athletic standpoint, like idolize them. I know there's one guy who was a cook, amazing chef, traveled the world, Anthony Bourdain, which a lot of people, do posts on still and all this stuff now. And he was an amazing, amazingly talented and popular and somebody who motivated a lot of people in his own right, like you said. But, it didn't hit me like that, even though I really loved his work and, what he did. It just didn't. So I don't know, man. It's crazy. But yeah, it's definitely sad when you see that happen. Like when Michael Jackson died, I was definitely sad. I was really sad about that. And Michael's one of those things, one of those people who was like, when we were kids, we idolized that person as a musician,
Heck, my son was just doing the little Michael Jackson dance, and that was like this past week. And he doesn't actually know the impact that Mike had on us, but I'll send you
that's funny,
a video through the what is this called?
You text it to me or whatever.
Yeah, I just texted it to you. But anyway, so my son doesn't know who that is. He doesn't know the impact, but he knows Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
So that, and I have to say Kobe as well. I think more so Kobe and his daughter,
Yeah.
That was a sad loss. And, it kind of, I think right after that, they started the hashtag, what was it, dad girl? Wait,
Is it?
girl dad? What
Girl
was it?
dad. Yeah, I think it's girl
something
dad.
like that. Something like that. Started going around, just showcasing like the relationship fathers and daughters had,
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty sad situation.
Yeah, that was sad, especially because he is like our age range. You know what I'm trying to say? Within a couple years of us.
Yep.
We both have little kids too. We're active parents too. So that was tough, man. That was tough to see that. Shoot, Tiger Woods got in a bad accident. People thought, that he could have passed in that, and even though both of those guys, have maybe a negative image, to a point, just like Michael Jackson did, to a point, publicly, it's still, when it boils down to it, it's still somebody who people love or idolize, for whatever reason.
There's been a lot of celebrities that just passed this year. We're only 23 days into this year, and there's been a lot. I know when my wife saw Betty White had passed, she was like real sad about that.
Yeah, that was just for the end of last year, right? And Sidney Poitier.
I thought it was like Betty White passed like maybe 2 weeks ago, a week or two ago. Yeah, I think so. Look that up right quick.
Get it up too.
Yeah, I think she passed like a week or two ago.
Oh, she died on December 31st.
Oh, okay. 31st. So right at the end of that. So
yeah, and then I think Sidney Poitier was just a couple of days into this year, sadly.
Mm-hmm. And just this past couple of weeks with Bob Saget and Louis Anderson, the comedians.
Louis Anderson passed. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Who else just passed? Meatloaf and shucks.
This guy who was a French-born actor who was in the Moon Knight, he was like the main villain. He passed. Like I think he passed like the day the trailer or the day after the trailer.
I think I heard of that.
But this dude was supposed to be one of those dudes who was like he basically had won Oscars in France, in the French version of Oscars. And he was now going to be trying to let his star raise in America, and sadly, he got in some kind of accident. Yeah. So it's crazy, man. It's crazy. But no, to Kayla's point, there hadn't been anything like that really for me. But it's wild when she talked about going to this place where young Dolph was killed, and just describing the whole area like it was eerie. Like hopefully that business can survive there, because that's forever going to be known as like, the grassy knoll. You know what I'm trying to say? Yeah, it's going to be forever known as like that place, where that happened. You can't, like, you can probably pinpoint the corner where Biggie was killed, and and maybe like the strip of street in Las Vegas where Tupac was killed. But that's like an establishment that the person was in when he got killed. So I don't know. It hopefully that place can survive as a business, and maybe their survival will be based obviously on, people coming there just for the scene,
just to visit,
of what happened, and get some food while they're there, type of thing. And I don't know, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. All right, here we go. Got another. Is this the one we just heard? Let's see here. Oh wait, yeah, we just heard that one. Okay, here we go. Next up. 3, 2, 1. Maybe.
People were so living. Some people baby, I just went for you. Oh, I love Wham. Oh, I love Wham. Anyway, what's up, y'all? I just finished cooking some chicken wings on my air fryer
with
y'all lemon pepper.
Mm-hmm.
Rub and spices that I found in my hidden compartment above the stove. Oh yeah, big box too, y'all.
Oh my gosh.
When y'all wasn't making money or wasn't popular then. But anyway, y'all popular now.
Ain't popular yet.
That's
so, did y'all order y'all free COVID test.
I did.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's free to get 2 per household, I guess. I had already ordered me some from Amazon, but you know. But how y'all doing? I'm going to Montana next week to go snowmobiling in the damn snow.
Bruh.
Oh, child, pray for me because I don't do snow very well. Okay, then. I ain't really got nothing to talk about. I guess I'll talk to y'all later. I'm going to get through cleaning up and listening to my 80s music.
So, Kayla, I'm trying to figure out how you get into Montana. Well, I guess you're coming from the east. So if you're riding a motorcycle, girl, I feel bad for you because it's gonna be cold.
No,
but
please fly.
Or maybe if you're driving in a car, that's fine. At least you'll be warm there. Otherwise, it's gonna be, it's quite the drive. But if you come through Utah, better say what's up.
No,
Say what's up.
I don't even know if I would drive.
Yeah,
because I started seeing when was that? Maybe the end of last year, earlier this year, when there was that big snow ice storm that went to the East Coast, and people were stuck in their car for like 2 and 3 days.
Yeah.
No.
This is the thing, though. This is the thing. I saw that, and then I realized a couple things. Snow on the West Coast is different than snow
on
in
the
the
East
Central and on the East Coast. Central and East Coast is more like more moist. You know what I'm trying to say? Like more ice and snow.
Yeah.
Whereas like snow down south where y'all live is mainly turns to ice, right? And because there's like this warm ground that's trying to freeze, and the cold wind on top of it turns to ice and snow. But then where we live, it is drier, so it's more powdery. Every now and then it'll be wet, but most of the time it's like powdery, right? So I think that's what happened then. And when it turns to ice, it's so much harder for the plows to clear. And I think there was like a bad accident that made people, sit there and get stuck for so long. So it's crazy, man. Yeah, that's the drive. But then when you get to like the states in the Northwest up here, well, I guess in the more in the cities, you have more infrastructure to like clear it up. Even like even out in the highways, like between towns, they still have like plows and stuff like that go through there. It's not as often as the city, but
right.
I don't know, man. I don't know. That would be quite the drive. But yeah, if you come through Utah, Kayla, you better hit me up. And you know what?
Get all the hooks you need.
Yeah, you come through, I'll get you a case. And you know what, man? It's been. I wouldn't say it's necessarily because of the popularity of it. It's just this year, really last year, I don't know if you want to call it a resolution, but I made a choice that I was going to be more proactive about getting into retail space. And that has hit my inventory a lot harder than it ever was before. Because before I could just make a bottle and send it. And now, even though I still have the capacity to do that, now I mainly rely on my inventory to tell me what I can send and what I can't send to places. So yeah, so don't worry. We'll always have some reserved for you. But when it comes down to it, I gotta put some money back into the business and feed the business. But when I do have sample stuff ready to go, I'll be able to get that out. But nah, man, it is what it is. And I don't know if you call that a resolution or you call that just like, being more proactive with your business, whatever. I'm trying to make it a life instead of just a side thing. So here we go. I won't forget you though. Here we go. Next up, 3, 2, 1.
What's up, y'all? This is Kayla. It is Saturday night, and I'm headed home, and I'm listening to the radio, and Regina King's son committed suicide. At the age of 26. And I gotta say, being a person in the limelight, a rapper or a singer, at the end of the day, they're still human. And they gotta deal with life stuff. not necessarily saying suicide, but damn. I definitely am sending my prayers out. And also, today I was going down a really popular street by the name of Poplar. And y'all was so many homeless people out. And the temperature got down to 19 degrees yesterday, last night, Friday night. And it just blew my mind. You know, when I'm driving today and I see all these homeless folks. And, you know, I gotta ask myself, are they homeless because they want to be? Or are they homeless because something happened? So it's just really, 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 really interesting, you know, just from what I'm seeing. But oh well, that's just one of my serious conversations that I'm having today, and I guess I'll talk to you later.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you, Kayla.
That was tough.
Voicemails.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. Yeah, that's sad, you know, to hear about that happening to Regina King's son, you know, doing that to himself. It's just, it's sad, man. You know, who knows what the kid was dealing with? You know, we don't know. She probably knows a little bit, you know, a lot better than us herself.
Yeah.
But and again, you know, when it's inside somebody's mind, you really, you know, don't know.
That's true. Very true.
You know, it's a sad thing. But yeah, when it all boils down to it, they're all, you know, everybody's all human, you know. So, and that was the thing I was gonna say about the Young Dolph scenario, like, and you were talking about Xxx Tentacion, like, the hood doesn't care who you are.
No, they don't.
When you go back to your hood, you know, because there's a lot of rappers that do that. They go back and they stay around their same friends, or you know, the same, you know, their family, which, you know, makes sense to a point, right? You know, the hood doesn't care who you are or where you are or when you are. The hood will take from you, you know, if that's the lifestyle that you, you know, so choose to stay in. You know, all of these people who make, you know, the money. I know with contracts and all this stuff, you know, there's only a certain amount of money that artists make, you know, but at some point you do have the opportunity to not live 24/7 where you grew up. You know, you can always go back and visit. You can always go back and take care of the people. You can always do events and stuff like that. But living in that space, maybe it's the authenticity. Maybe it's just, you know, saying, hey, I'm not authentic if I'm not living where I grew up. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
I turned into somebody else. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know what it is. But the hood doesn't care who you are. They will take from you as they want, sadly.
Yeah, that's true.
Which we see all too often.
Give me a second. I got to charge this tablet up. So
Good. Go ahead and plug it in. I'll riff off of that. So while Jay is doing that, you know, I'll tell you guys, you know, I really would want to just pause. I don't even know what I'm doing. I could just stop. Oh, wait, no, I can't stop because we lie. Anyway, yeah. Yeah, man, it's cold out there. Hopefully everybody's nice and warm. You know, talking about what Kayla was talking about, you know, when it's cold outside and you have homeless people out there, you know, if you can think about it, you know, give them some food, give them a bag of chips, give them a granola bar, something like that. You know, something that will try to maybe help their day be brighter. You know, because some of those people are there by chance. Unfortunately, you know, some people are there by choice. Some people, sadly, you know, have some kind of mental issues, you know, mental health issues, something like that. You know, maybe, you know, they just were dropped there for whatever reason. So, you know, if you find a way to help them out or help any of the charities out that help them, you know, definitely find a way to do it, because that's, you know, just think if you were in that scenario, you know, maybe what you would want. I don't know. Lord help them. That's all I got to say. But in the meantime, you know, definitely appreciate all the voicemails that we got from Kayla. You guys can always show us some love. Always leave us a voicemail, anything like that. And yeah, right now we're going through the end of football season. End of football season. Oh wait, there we go. Jay's back. All right. So I was just talking to the listeners, pivoted real quick. Though I guess the end of the regular season happened for football just a couple weeks ago. We're now in the playoffs and all this stuff. So I'll say this: my Giants, New York Giants fan, they fired their coach. Their GM was, let to retire. I believe they were going to fire him if he didn't. And so they just hired a new GM. So I'm hopeful that they will get a new head coach. I like the GM that they got. He was from Buffalo Bills. That's where he was previously working. So it'll be nice to see who he brings in. Hopefully, Brian Flores, that brother who was just fired from Miami. That would be nice to have him back, have him in the fold. But then your team, which I heard just this morning, the New Orleans Saints, their coach, the legendary Sean Payton, who I have met, and I've actually put his Super Bowl ring on my hand. Met him in person. He's a really good dude. He just, he has not committed to returning to the Saints for next season.
Boy, interesting.
Sean Payton does have a New York Giants connection. So, hey, I would love to have him as a coach.
That'd be nice.
I would love to have him come to New York. But, I call it a long shot. But, dang, that would be a good coaching hire for them. But I don't know, man. Hey, he's had an amazing career. So, hopefully, he either, gets on a TV set, and is analyzing, or maybe he'll find himself as a head coach somewhere. But I don't know, man. Things gonna be changing down there in New Orleans.
Yeah, for the better or for worse. Let me close this door before you hear my wife screaming. 1 sec.
It's all good. But no, hopefully if your team, if your team made the playoffs, hopefully they weren't the Cowboys, and hopefully they were not the Packers, nor the Titans, because the Packers and Titans were number 1 seeds and they got beat at home this past weekend. And if they're the Cowboys, same old Cowboys, we're gonna do it this year. Next year's our year. And what happens? They always turn into the Island Boys after the first 1 or 2 rounds. They end up going for their island trip, because their season is over.
That was pretty funny, though.
That makes me laugh.
Hilarious.
Yeah, that makes me laugh. And then all their fans are like, punching the TV, throwing their remote control at the TV. I saw an old video from a couple years ago where somebody, punched the TV off the wall, pulled out a pistol and shot it as a Cowboys fan. I'm like, bruh, it's not even like, if the team was paying you, that's one thing. Maybe you mortgage your whole house. I don't know. But it's not worth it. It's not worth it. So, speaking of Cowboys and speaking of teams that lost in the playoffs, the Eagles, this is the farthest connection, the farthest reach to go to the Starting Five podcast. Mayor Dan Dinkins, who is an Eagles fan from Starting Five, has invited us to come out to the J1 Con in Jersey City, New Jersey, at the end of this year. I think it's like in November. So I told him, first of all, I appreciate that invitation. And I told him, obviously, we'd have to talk about it and check our schedules. And I think that may be a competition weekend for me. It's already scheduled, so I may not be able to do it. It's like early November. So just keep that in mind. But if there's nothing else we got, let's go ahead and tell them people where to find us.
All right, people, find us on Instagram. Well, where can you find us? Hey, Instagram, Twitter, #Blackout. Hold on, I got to look this up because I don't have my notes in front of me. As long as we've been doing this show, I still don't remember the exact address.
You can do it.
Such a shame. #Blackout Pod is where you can find us on Twitter and Instagram. And #BlackoutPod@gmail.com is where you can email the stuff. Also, check all your streaming platforms that you stream podcasts from. You probably could find us there. Find us here sometimes Sunday mornings. The past couple of weeks have been like iffy, sketchy, but hey, we're here today. So Sunday mornings, you could jump in, maybe get in the comments. Maybe we'll pull you in and send you a link so you can be on the show. So do that. 3853-BLAKPC or 385-325-2572 is where you could give us a little call. Let us know what you up to, what you think about the show, what you think about them lollipop chicken legs, lollipop chicken butt. Yeah, lollipop chicken butt.
Lollipop
Yeah,
chicken butt.
lollipop chicken butt. Yeah, let us know what you think about them type of ladies that do that, or men. I'm sure there's some men out there that probably get it done too. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, let us know
yeah.
what you think about that, and definitely hit up hooksrub.com. Get yourself some hooks. Get yourself some seasoning.
Candy
Order
bacon
a
t-shirt,
box.
bruh.
Get you some merch, some mug or shirt or hat.
Mm-hmm.
Or a bottle of seasoning to go season stuff up. I got to leave this podcast soon so I can go season up some turkey wings.
Sounds good.
Yeah, do that. You know,
Yep.
that's it.
Sounds good.
Another episode 207.
Yes, indeed.
Lollipop chicken butt. That's what we calling this one.
All right. On that note, I'm gonna go see if I could inject pork butt.
Not with tuberculosis.
No. Inject the pork butt and throw it on the grill. We'll see. All right. Oh, look. Now Kayla says hello.
There she is.
We're about to get off, Kayla. Hi, though. How you doing?
Hello.
Wow. Next time. How about next time, Kayla, we send you a link to join the show next weekend. But I know you're supposed to be in Montana. So let us know. Let us know when you get to Montana, and we will. I guess maybe after you come to Montana, we'll go to Montana, whatever. We'll get you on here. All right, sound good? Drive safe, travel safe, snowmobile safe.
Definitely wear protection.
Wear protection. Get some hot hands and hot toes, little packs that go in your gloves and feet and boots that. Keep you warm because it's gonna be cold. Trust me. This Northwest cold is cold. So anyway, all right. Well, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you for the messages, Kayla. And y'all take care. On that note, we're blacking out. Peace.
Deuces.